Have you ever wondered, behind the seemingly perfect scenes of classic movies, are Hollywood's brightest stars always proud of every moment they've brought to life on screen? The truth is, not every spotlight leaves behind sweet memories. There are scenes even actors themselves wish they could bury forever, because of embarrassment, haunting memories, or wounds that never truly heal. Sometimes a single line, a bold choice, or a moment of pushing boundaries becomes the shadow that quietly follows them for years. Think your favorite stars only hold fond memories of their biggest roles? In reality, many carry silent regrets, scenes they'd rather never mention again. Maybe it's these hidden stories that give true depth to every cinematic legend. If you're curious about the untold truths behind the glittering stage, stay with me as we uncover secrets Hollywood never wanted you to know. And if you find yourself drawn in by these stories, don't forget to like and subscribe to join us for more revealing journeys behind the mask of Hollywood. Because sometimes, a single story can change the way you see your favorite stars forever. For audiences across the globe, the image of Rose stretched across a velvet couch, bathed in golden light, has become the ultimate symbol of eternal romance, a scene that defines the magic of Titanic. But for Kate Winslet, memories of that moment are far more complicated and bittersweet than fans ever realize. She's spoken candidly about how, after the film's release, every public appearance meant facing crowds who would eagerly push copies of that nude drawing toward her, begging for an autograph. Being forced to confront such intimate, vulnerable parts of herself in front of strangers was deeply unsettling for Kate, leaving her fighting back tears when she returned home. More than just embarrassment, the experience raised questions about whether art truly protects the personal boundaries of its creators. Over time, she became hesitant to accept roles requiring nudity, reading every script with caution, searching for signs of scenes that might haunt her later. For Kate, fame can bring dazzling spotlight, but it also threatens to strip away your sense of control, leaving you exposed in ways you never intended. That painting of Rose remains a memory both sweet and stinging, a lasting reminder of the true price of cinematic greatness. Even as the world celebrates her performance, only Kate knows the quiet cost that lingers behind the beauty. Jim Carrey, known for his iconic grin and boundless comedic energy, once believed that taking on the violent role of Colonel Stars and Stripes in Kick-Ass 2 would be a bold way to reinvent himself. But the harsh reality of the world outside the movie set changed everything for him. Just months before the film's release, the devastating Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting rocked America, forcing Carrey to reconsider his involvement in a film packed with over-the-top violence. He felt a deep sense of regret, realizing that the brutal, action-filled scenes he had helped bring to life could have a damaging impact on society, especially on younger audiences. Taking to Twitter, Carrey openly expressed his remorse and offered an apology to his colleagues, emphasizing that while he wasn't ashamed of the artistry, he could no longer ignore its consequences. For Carrey, shifting from beloved comedy star to action anti-hero unexpectedly led him into a moral crisis he never anticipated. Behind every performance are tough choices, and Carrey's willingness to confront his regrets publicly has only earned him greater respect from fans everywhere. In the end, his honesty and integrity shine even brighter than any role he's ever played, reminding us that being a true artist sometimes means acknowledging the shadows that fame can cast. Jennifer Lawrence, the Oscar-winning young star celebrated for her fearless personality and authentic acting, found herself wrestling with regret after playing Aurora in the film Passengers. In the movie, Jennifer shares passionate, intimate scenes with co-star Chris Pratt, who at the time was still married to actress Anna Faris. Although their on-screen chemistry was purely professional, rumors quickly swirled after the film's release, accusing Jennifer of coming between Pratt and Faris's marriage. The speculation and public scrutiny sent Jennifer into a spiral of anxiety and guilt, leaving her sleepless and full of self-doubt. She later admitted that it was the first time she truly felt uncomfortable after filming a love scene, especially knowing her co-star had a spouse. This experience made her far more cautious and thoughtful when considering future roles involving intimate scenes or anything that could spark misunderstanding. For Jennifer, fame brings not only glory and fortune, but also an invisible burden, where every move is analyzed, criticized, and easily misinterpreted. Each film scene becomes more than just art. It's a hard-earned lesson about the fragile line separating cinema from real life. Jennifer Lawrence's story is proof that even at the height of stardom, vulnerability and regret can linger behind the curtain of Hollywood's bright lights. George Clooney, the suave, debonair leading man of Hollywood, once thought donning the iconic Batman suit in Batman and Robin was a dream come true. But in reality, it became the worst nightmare of his career. The film was ruthlessly panned by critics and audiences alike, earning a notorious reputation as one of the most disappointing entries in Batman's cinematic legacy. Clooney has candidly admitted that accepting the role was his greatest mistake, even joking that he owes an apology not only to fans, but also to the very creators of the legendary Batman character. Instead of elevating the franchise, the movie turned into a total disaster, both artistically and financially, sparking waves of criticism that haunted Clooney for years. For him, this experience became a painful lesson about choosing roles wisely and understanding one's responsibility to a cultural icon. Sometimes true greatness doesn't come from embodying a symbol, but from having the courage to admit your failures, move forward, and keep growing as an artist. George Clooney eventually redeemed himself with many other stellar performances, but Batman and Robin remains a special scar, a reminder of the complex journey behind every Hollywood success story. Smash the like button if you love authentic moments from famous stars, and don't forget to subscribe to join our big family. Burt Reynolds was always a symbol of strength and daring, famous for performing his own stunts on screen to deliver the most authentic experience to audiences. When he took the role in Deliverance, he insisted on piloting a canoe over a raging waterfall himself, ignoring every warning from the crew about how dangerous it truly was. That very scene left him with a severe injury, a broken tailbone so painful it forced him to halt his career for months. Reynolds later admitted that his choice was driven by pride, a need to prove he could become a legend without the help of a stunt double. But as he lay in a hospital bed, he realized the staggering cost of that reckless decision. It was a lesson he would never forget. No amount of admiration from fans is ever worth sacrificing your health and personal happiness. In the years that followed, Reynolds often referred to that infamous scene with deep regret, seeing it as a cautionary tale for anyone tempted to chase glory at the expense of their own safety. A fleeting moment on film became a haunting memory that stayed with him for life. Sometimes the real drama happens long after the cameras stop rolling. Edward Norton was expected to redefine the iconic Green Goliath in The Incredible Hulk, promising Marvel fans a hero both complex and haunted by inner darkness. From the start, Norton dreamed of crafting a Hulk unlike any before, one inspired by the somber, tragic tone of serious superhero films like The Dark Knight. He wanted to portray a giant not only of brute strength, but also of deep emotional torment, forever torn between primal rage and human reason. Yet, his creative ambition quickly collided with the commercial machinery of Marvel Studios. They demanded a lighter, more action-packed blockbuster tailored for mass audiences. Creative differences escalated until Norton was forced to walk away from the role just as his vision was taking shape. For him, it was a bitter experience, seeing his passion crushed by short-term business interests and the studio's unwillingness to take risks. Even though he no longer wore Hulk's mantle, Norton remained committed to the belief that true cinema must give artists space to express their authentic selves. The Incredible Hulk became a quiet but proud scar in Edward Norton's journey, a symbol of his relentless search for truth in a world that often favors easy answers over artistic depth. Sometimes the hardest battles are fought behind the scenes. Terence Stamp, one of Britain's most distinguished actors, had always dreamed of sharing the screen with rising stars, especially Natalie Portman, when he accepted the role in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Playing Chancellor Valorum seemed like an opportunity for inspiration and creative magic within a grand galactic universe. But the reality was far from what he'd hoped for. In a pivotal Galactic Senate scene, Stamp looked forward to trading lines with Portman, only to be crushed by the discovery that she wasn't present on set. Instead, he was asked to deliver his heartfelt speech to a simple piece of paper taped to the wall, representing her character. The emptiness and disconnect overwhelmed him, turning what should have been a powerful, emotional moment into a cold, mechanical, hollow experience. Later, Stamp openly described his disappointment, calling the scene painfully dull and devoid of any real connection. This episode became a microcosm for the growing gap between actors and the spectacle-driven world of modern cinema, where special effects and frantic schedules often overshadow the real magic of performance. For Terence Stamp, Star Wars left behind more regret than glory, a bittersweet reminder that even the biggest roles can sometimes leave you feeling utterly alone. Taylor Lautner was once a global teen idol thanks to his role as Jacob Black, the werewolf heartthrob in the Twilight saga. Millions of fans swooned over his chiseled physique, rugged good looks, and sincere gaze. But behind all that fame, Lautner struggled with a private anxiety. The relentless focus on his body left him feeling objectified and disconnected from his true self. The constant shirtless scenes turned him into the butt of countless jokes, internet memes, and disrespectful comments. Sometimes, the attention made Taylor feel like nothing more than a showpiece, rather than a genuine actor with talent. Lautner has confessed that every time he reads a new script, he's anxious about whether he'll be pressured into exposing his body once again. The experience left him wary, steering clear of roles that demand physical sacrifice at the expense of emotional depth. While Twilight brought him stardom, it also taught Taylor that public attention can be a double-edged sword, suffocating both artistic dreams and personal happiness. For him, the bright lights of Hollywood can sometimes become a darkness that leads artists astray. Taylor Lautner's journey is a reminder that fame often comes at the cost of authenticity and peace of mind. If you found this video meaningful, give it a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Elliot Page, then known as Ellen Page, captivated the world as Juno in the acclaimed film, portraying a sharp-witted, resilient teen facing life's toughest choices. Yet, one small moment in the movie left a lasting wound on Page's heart. It was the scene where Juno casually jokes, "Isn't Madison a little gay?" A throwaway line that at the time seemed harmless, but later haunted him. Back then, Elliot had not yet come out and was quietly struggling with his identity. Looking back, he admits the line was rooted in harmful stereotypes and contributed to the marginalization of the LGBTQ+ community, a community he would later proudly represent. Page has shared that every time he recalls that scene, he's filled with regret, wishing he'd had the courage and sensitivity to speak up. For Elliot, filmmaking isn't just about art. It's about using your platform to spread kindness and understanding. His experience with Juno forced him to confront his own growth, inspiring him to face the past and transform personal regret into hope for others searching for their truth. In the end, that single line became a powerful lesson, reminding us that words matter and true strength is found in empathy. Burt Reynolds, once the epitome of suave masculinity and classic Hollywood charm, was always careful in choosing roles to protect his personal brand. But when he accepted the part of adult film director Jack Horner in Boogie Nights, he risked everything for a chance at career reinvention. Almost immediately after filming Wrapped, Reynolds realized he was utterly out of place in that world. He felt uncomfortable, even ashamed of his decision, so much so that he famously fired his agent for suggesting the role. Not only that, he refused to attend press events, skipped out on promotional tours, and nearly severed all contact with the film's cast and crew. Even though Boogie Nights was hailed as an artistic triumph, Reynolds could never shake the sense that he'd betrayed his own ideals. In later years, he referred to it as the biggest career accident of his life, a painful lesson about the importance of listening to your own inner voice. For Reynolds, some of the brightest successes can also become the longest shadows, and staying true to yourself is the highest form of pride. Sometimes artistic glory comes at a personal cost that lingers far beyond the applause. Emilia Clarke became a global icon as the fierce and powerful Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, a character willing to push every boundary for greatness. Yet behind the dazzling success, Clarke grappled with deep anxiety and embarrassment. The show's nude scenes, especially the unforgettable moment where Daenerys emerges naked from the flames, left Emilia feeling intensely vulnerable. She admits that while she was aware of the intimate scenes when she took the role, nothing could have prepared her for the awkwardness of knowing millions, including her own parents, would be watching. Clarke once recounted the mortifying experience of inviting her parents to watch the show, only to realize too late that a bold nude scene was about to air. That incident made her far more cautious and thoughtful in future script choices, particularly when it came to scenes likely to be sensationalized or spark social media controversy. Emilia learned the hard way that a few fleeting seconds on screen can live forever online, haunting both actor and family alike. For her, great fame always comes with invisible pressures, and the line between art and privacy is sometimes all too thin. In the end, Clarke's journey is proof that even legends must navigate the hidden costs of stardom. Channing Tatum was once Hollywood's golden boy, the embodiment of strength and charisma in blockbuster after blockbuster. Yet his leading role in the G.I. Joe action franchise became a burden he'd rather erase from memory. From the very beginning, Tatum was reluctant about the script, but a long-standing studio contract forced him into the role, leaving him with no choice but to play the lead against his true desires. Tatum later confessed he hated the film so much that he'd have done anything to escape, even joking he wanted his character killed off just to break free from the obligation. The filming process turned into a draining grind, a battle between duty and indifference, where Tatum felt like a robot on set, acting only to fulfill a requirement, not out of any passion or pride. Looking back, He has openly admitted it was a mistake to let a contract dictate his career instead of following his heart. The experience taught Tatum a powerful lesson about the artist's right to choose, and the importance of having the courage to say no when a project doesn't resonate. Sometimes, true success comes not from chasing forced glory, but from reclaiming your freedom and self-respect. If you found this video meaningful, give it a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Sean Connery, the legendary actor who defined the suave, powerful image of James Bond, left fans absolutely stunned with his role in the 1974 film Zardoz. The unforgettable sight of Connery in a revealing red loincloth, thigh-high leather boots, and crisscrossed ammo belts is now regarded as one of the most bizarre moments in cinematic history. When he accepted the role of Zed, Connery hoped to break free from the Bond persona, seeking a radical new direction for his career after leaving 007 behind. But public reaction was a mix of shock and amusement. Even Connery himself later admitted that this was a role he'd prefer to bury forever. Whenever asked about Zardoz, he would laugh it off, openly sharing that financial struggles, not passion for the oddball script, were his real motivation for signing on. Behind-the-scenes photos, promotional posters, and iconic scenes have since become meme material across the internet, leaving Connery embarrassed to revisit the film. Zardoz stands as a cautionary tale about taking artistic risks. The line between reinvention and misstep can sometimes be crossed with a single decision. For Sean Connery, the greatest lesson was learning when to stop and listen to his inner artist, even in the face of a legendary career. Some experiments in cinema are unforgettable, for better or worse. Mark Wahlberg was once a rebellious rapper, famed for his wild persona, but Boogie Nights catapulted him to Hollywood stardom, while leaving a scar he'd carry for years. In the film, Wahlberg played Dirk Diggler, an adult film actor swept up in a life of controversy, temptation, and darkness. While Boogie Nights was universally praised and launched Mark into the global spotlight, the role haunted him long after the cameras stopped rolling. Wahlberg has openly admitted that he prayed for forgiveness for taking on such a boundary-pushing part, and he's been known to turn down interviews or conversations that bring up the film. Though he achieved artistic triumph, Mark always felt that this role clashed with the faith and personal growth he later found in life. He constantly reminds himself that fame earned too quickly can come with a heavy cost, and sometimes the greatest success is having the courage to say no to your own past. Mark Wahlberg has since moved beyond the shadows of Boogie Nights, but he's never forgotten the lesson about respecting his own limits. Some roles change your career, and some forever change your soul. Some moments on screen become immortal, etched forever in the minds of audiences. Yet they also leave deep, unspoken marks on the hearts of the actors themselves. Behind the glow of fame, the thunder of applause, and the sparkle of the spotlight are silent struggles, regrets, and missteps that can never be fully erased. Every scene these stars once wished to forget has become living proof of a journey toward growth, the courage to face one's flaws, and the art of forgiving yourself. True artistry is never just about perfection. It's about those raw, imperfect moments that reveal our humanity amidst the glittering chaos of celebrity. Perhaps it's from these regrets that actors learn their greatest lessons: to be authentic, to own their mistakes, and to keep moving forward, inspiring a new generation in the process. If you too have ever felt regret or wished for a fresh start, remember, you're not alone, and it's a real, beautiful part of being alive. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video if you found a piece of yourself here, And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to discover more untold stories behind Hollywood's silver screen. The journey ahead is full of wonders waiting for you.